Yeah, sometimes you would see guys outside of the bubble know where the
Can you
ball
send me the
is,
link,
but
YouTube
he
link?
can't go. So Ahmed has gone to 7 in the over so far. Oh, slashed away, and that's gonna beat the man a backward point. It goes away for 4. It's 42 on the board.
Yeah, 4 rounds, first 4. We've seen 4 sixes, and there's the first 4 of the game from Gajanan Singh. Consecutive boundaries for him.
What happened? It was coming good.
17 off 11 deliveries, score up to 42. Expensive over so far from Amin. He's given up 11, 2 deliveries left.
Send me that phone number.
Who's phone number?
The Plague guy and Mint guy.
Plague guy, there's no phone number.
Oh, another one.
Goes on
Boxed away through the offside.
Mint.
And
Mint
fielder
also
will
go there and call.
run onto it, Carl. Probably another hour or so that will race away, but a lot of dew on the ground. Couple of runs to Gajan and Singh. He goes up to 19.
Just a casual slap by Gajanan. Didn't go full-blooded as we saw in the previous delivery. And so that one not able to, didn't have the legs to get to the boundary.
Yeah, other one was
Couple
better.
out for the effort. Good comeback delivery to finish things off for Roshi Amin. The over ends 13 from it. It's 44 for 1 at the end of 5 overs.
Mint का number मुझे दे दो.
You want to check the... No, but this is the deal, right? How you going to... Correct.
So good start here from the Empire
Everything
State
good?
Titans.
You need
although
anything?
they've
Everything
lost
good?
one.
Yeah, everything good. Thanks.
They're going at almost
Okay.
9 and over. 8.8 to be exact. It's 44
Can you
on the
send me the
board.
link? Can you send me the link?
And we've seen 5
No, but
overs
this
gone.
looks
So
very
Farouk will be
small.
on strike. Umair Ali, a couple of overs.
Yeah, but first send me the... It was good, 800 by, I think 1200. Go 1200 by 800 or something.
So wide. Umpire Ron McFarlane, Carl, a couple of top quality umpires out of the elite panel. Has made their way to the park. Ron McFarlane
Yeah, put it next right.
has done West Indies competition matches. And Danny Khan, once a president of the Umpire Cricket Association. 45 on the board. The ball outside the off stump, so we've been told Danny Khan still holds the position of
Can
the
you send me the URL? Huh?
president of the United States Cricket Umpires Association. Carl, I'm trying to dethrone the man. I say a former or might have been, but he is still, I understand he's held on to the job, so good for Danny Khan and certainly the umpires
On top of this.
of the United States. 45 on the board.
So only go. The wire.
Oh, food for Omar Farouk, a full toss. And he makes the much out of it, Carl. 51 on the board. 50 comes up for the Empire State Titans. And that's a good looking shot from a cool delivery from Omar Farouk. He goes up to 16 with 51 on the board.
Yes, Len, and Umair Ali just missing his length completely. And that will be a meal for, they say, meats and drinks for Omar Farouk. He gets a delivery like that. He's going to punish it. And he does just that. Obliges, hits it over deep mid wicket. Gone for another maximum to bring up the 50 just inside 6 overs.
Yes, Carl, this is a good start from the Empire State Titans. They post 51, and then, as we would always say, their first milestone, always go to cross 50. Farouk is on 16. Good sliding down the leg side, called the wide. And so far, the Stallions, Carl, has given up, what, 6 wide, so if essentially probably bowling an extra over here. 52 on the board.
Yes, Len, they've missed the plot a bit in terms of bowling one side of the wicket. And the wides can continuing to add up here. And the dew probably a factor here. Ball slipping out of the hand of Umair Ali, and should be a contributor in terms of Ali missing his length on a few occasions. Well, not only him, a few of the bowlers have missed their length on occasion, and that could well be perhaps attributable to the fact that the ball may be slightly moist given the dew on the outfield.
So playing the miss again, and for those who are new to Idlewild playing field, this ground here, and certainly watching on the feed, we're just outside of the John F. Kennedy International Airport. And in fact, from where Farouk is batting, if he can really hit a long ball, that ball very well could end up on runway 22, one of the major runways of John F. Kennedy International. So another wide, so seen our fair share of wides, Carl. 7 so far, 53 on the board.
And Umair Ali struggling with the line at the moment. He's had a torrid time in terms of trying to get the ball on the offside of the pitch, and straying down the leg side three times already in this over, and conceding extras in the process. So another aircraft passes up above. 53 for 1. We're in over number 6, being bowled by Umair Ali. Umar Farouk, the man in strike, he's on 16. Another full toss, and this time it's all over it and smashing it for another maximum. Umar Farouk, meat and drinks.
Yeah, and it's Umair's first bat over, I guess you could say. First over went for 5, second over went for 6. He was bowling 2 for 11, but now wides playing a part. But Umar Farouk, 2 sixes in the over, 15 off it. Farouk hits his third 6, and they've all been pretty massive ones.
Yeah, Farouk goes up to 22, 59 on the board. And this is beginning to look worrisome here for the Stallions. And the Empire State Titans have gone quickly up to 59 for 1. They're going over 10 and over. And we're just about 1 ball away from completing over number 6. So 15 runs in this over. And we probably will have to get another ball here. So Carl, the budget of minor league will go up by 1 ball. And very early expense for the minor league people.
It's likely to go up by more than 1, Len. It's probably several balls will be lost here in this today, just not in this particular game only. We do have a double header on tap, and so I think the tournament organizers would have to be prepared to at least replace several balls, given the nature of this. Given that the fact that once you get beyond the boundaries here, you're really into the bushes. So anything hit beyond the ropes is likely to be in the thicket. And this time doesn't time it at all, Umar Farouk. And so the over comes to an end. 15 from it. It's 59 for 1 at the end of 6 overs. At all, Umar Farouk, and so the over comes.
Never played. No, last time we had that.
So they're just controlling.
Ankit, don't remove the logo. Let it be there. Is this looking good?
Yeah.
Huh? Let me send you the link. Huh?
Yeah.
You'll check yourself, right? Oh, Lini, we got the link.
So it looks like a new.
Ankit.
So a new bowler has been introduced here in the form of Raj.
No, that's it, fine.
Bafsar.
Don't change any logo. Huh?
Raj is usually the man keeping the wicket, has donned
Get
the
the scoring
wicket keeping
up.
gloves in
Scoreboard.
several leagues and tournaments for several teams over the years. And this time he has been given the ball, and so he starts with a foolish delivery. He yields a dot, and right now they're looking to pick back this run rate a bit, Matt.
Oh, big hit. Into the bushes again. Gajanan Singh. Another 6. Score up to 65. It's his third one today. We'll have to see if they can find this one.
So Gajanan goes upstairs once again. So both batsmen now have struck 3 sixes apiece. And so Gajanan up into the 20s as well. And 65 already on the board. And they are going at 10.3 runs per over at the moment. So off to a flyer. Empire State Titans on the back of the effort of Gajanan Singh and Umar Farooq. So 50-run partnership also comes up. And a slow ball, this time is beating all man and running away towards the third man fence. They cross for a couple, wait for a signal of any, and it actually played. So runs it is, and 2 more to Gajanan. And my word, may have missed the trick there, Keem Dotson. As the ball taking a thick edge and or a finish edge and flying down to third man. 67 for 1.
Live stream. Everybody's hearing what we are talking. So you guys have to be and make sure nobody talks there.
Well then, this one has gone as well. Gajanan Singh, it's gone all the way. 14 of the over, 2 deliveries remaining. Gajanan goes up to 33 of just 17 deliveries.
And so Gajanan, the 6-hitter, the 6 machine, the newest 6 machine, perhaps in the tri-state region, picked up, as I've mentioned, picking up from where he left off just last week. He hit 10 of them in a championship final last week for a blistering 112 off just 56 balls.
Cut away in the gap. Fielder comes around at the boundary. Will cross for 1, thinking of 2. And quite comfortable in the end. 2 more. 16 of the over, 2 sixes and 2 twos to Gajanan Singh. He's only got 1 single in his innings of 35 so far. So he's been very aggressive.
In the limited over format, you expect that batsmen are going to be looking to go quickly. Another wide here, so Bafsar under pressure. And this one going almost off the mat. 76 already on the board. Over number 7 in progress. And this time the over comes to an end. And so it's 17 off the over. 7 overs completed. It's 76 for 1 with Gajanan on 35, Umar Farooq on 22. So we welcome in the voice of our favorite Kiwi, Jamie Lloyd, joins us in the comm box. And good morning, Jamie. Minor league cricket well and truly underway here in the tri-state.
Thanks, Carl. Yeah, exciting to be here and excited to be back with you guys. It's been a while since I had the pleasure of your company in the comm box. The old firm back together.
There we go.
But yeah, really excited to have minor league cricket underway. There were certainly times this year where we thought that maybe it wouldn't happen given the challenges we've had throughout the world really with COVID. But big pat on the back for the organisers, all the teams, all the team management and the players to get us to this point. We're finally seeing cricket, and what a superb start we've had as well. Some really good cricket from both sides. But obviously the Empire State Titans with a very good start with the bat.
Orain Williams' first delivery is a wide, so he'll give up a run without bowling a legal delivery. Wides now totaling 9. Extras with the same score, they've all been wide. 77 for 1. Farouk will be on strike.
And Captain Akeem Dodson imploring his charges to get it together. Full toss, hit up and over, extra cover, man in the deep. And the batters can only get one, so missed opportunity perhaps for Omar Farouk. And the score moves up to 78.
And Gajalan Singh, if you're a bowler, Gajalan Singh not any better for you to be facing. He's been in really good touch today. 4 sixes, a boundary, 35 of 19 deliveries.
So again, want to acknowledge those in the Empire State Titans camp. Likes of Kirk Higgins, who is not on site presently, Steve Messiah, and Kevin Darlington. And then on the New Jersey Stallions, Coach Earl Daly, Assistant Coach Neil McGarrow, and Manager Prasad Masika. I want to say good morning to all the folks behind the scenes, making sure that these teams are prepared for battle. And so well and truly on another good delivery outside the off stump this time, and a swing and a miss. And so the score remains at 78. We're into over number 8 here, being bowled by Orain Williams.
Yeah, superb over really. Started with the one blemish, the wide, but since then he's been right on the mark.
Oh!
Well, it was appealing, but Hakeem couldn't hold on. And so Orain thought he had something there. In the end, missed another missed opportunity for Stallions, and so they cannot seem to effect a breakthrough here. This partnership starting to really flourish. 63 already in the partnership, and they need to effect a breakthrough in short order.
And taking into consideration that these batsmen are currently going on over 10 and over, this has been a very good over from Orain Williams. 5 deliveries bowled, and he's only given up 3.
So certainly in the context of what has happened here in the morning so far, one of the better overs, if you're looking at the Manhattan skyline graph, this probably will be one of the shorter buildings in the skyline. This time another wide, and so perhaps the commentator's curse. Ready. He had bowled one right at the beginning of the over. Just giving him his accolades. Comes back with another one here. So we still one legal delivery remaining in over number 8. 80 on the board for the loss of 1 wicket.
Oh, edged away. It's running up. It's 4 runs to Umar Farouk, and even though it wasn't really Orain's fault, can't really set a field and you can't really prepare for an edge. Guess you could say again another commentator's curse. Complimenting him for bowling a really good over, and then, I mean, it was a bit unfortunate, but a boundary is a boundary. It's something the bowling figures don't show, whether it was an edge or whether it was sweetly timed.
And the over yields 8 in the end, so still another good over from a Titan standpoint, and they're up to 84 for 1 with just 8 overs gone. So already they're going at 10.5 and over. So really a blistering start here for Titans.
Looks to be another bowling change here. Raymond Ramratton into bowl his off spinners. Sorry, leggies.
On the ground from Gajan Singh. Plays it flat. Single takes the score up to 85. Brings Umar Farouk back onto strike.
And rarely do you see like Umar Farouk and Gajan Singh, well, any batsman out in the middle with Umar Farouk and Umar Farouk playing second fiddle, but at this stage, partnership being dominated by Gajan Singh. He's on 37, Farouk on 27. And of course, Umar Farouk came in at the top of the order. And with the loss of Siobhan Griffith, Gajan Singh came to the wicket, and he's been very prolific since.
Away from Farouk. Protection out there, just a single. Good start to the over so far, just 2 off it. However, we've seen from the last over from Orain, he can bowl 5 good deliveries and then give away a boundary at the end. So still 4 deliveries is a lot sometimes, especially with these 2 batsmen at the crease in the mood they're in. But another dot ball registered, 3 deliveries left, halfway through the 9th. Oh, full, and 1 bounce for 4. Gajan Singh wasn't the greatest of deliveries, and Gajan Singh, that 4 takes him into the 40s. He's on 41 now, 26 deliveries and score up to 90.
And so he continues to go at a tremendous strike rate, 158 strike rate. And so his good form continues, and this time Misfield will yield a couple. And so Gajan Singh takes advantage. He adds 2 more to his tally. Goes up to 43, and Titans Jamie inching closer to that 3-figure mark. Early still, but we're just inside the 9th over. So really a blistering start.
Yeah, it is a quicker ball this time. Keeps Gajan Singh quiet, but the damage had been done earlier in the over. Yields 8, so not the worst, but the runs continue to flow, and this really is a very good foundation now for the Empire State Titans. They lost the early wicket of Griffith to 10, but since then this partnership has gone from strength to strength, and 92 for 1 after 9 overs, as I say, represents a very good start for the Empire State Titans, and they'll really be looking to capitalise on this foundation. Plenty of batting still to come, of course. Of course, today is the first day of Minor League Cricket 2020. In fact, the first day of Minor League Cricket for any year. And this is the first ever match. And it's a pleasure, I'm sure, for the guys at Idlewild to be hosting the first ever game of Minor League Cricket.
It'll land safely, and Farouk will pick up 1.
So he moves on to 28. And this match, of course, is a fixture from the Eastern Conference of the Minor League. Ball driven down the ground. Another single, just turning the strike over. Williams continuing to bowl well here. So the Empire State Titans, of course, batting first here against the New Jersey Stallions. And the other 4 teams in the Eastern Conference are the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers. Over pitch this time and just clears ahead of Dominic Ricci. And in fact, it goes all the way to the boundary. So another 4 runs for Gajanan Singh. Not timing it as he might have liked, but still gets the result. Sorry, Umar Farouk. So just going back to the teams in the Eastern Conference, the New England Eagles, and we'll see them later today in the second match, the DC Hawks and the Philadelphians. Those are the 6 teams that make up the Eastern Conference.
The Eastern Conference promises to be one of the interesting conferences across the minor league across the U.S. Some quality players sort of distributed among the several teams. New Jersey, the Cavaliers team from New Jersey, perhaps the team with one of the strongest lineups on paper. But as we know, the game is not necessarily played on paper, so it will be interesting to see how they match up and how the season unfolds for Cavaliers. I'm interested to see how they perform as this minor league gets into its maturity.
Through him this time goes Williams, full delivery, almost Yorker length. And Farouk playing over the top of it, the ball through to wicketkeeper Hakeem Dodson. And in other parts of the country, there's also minor league cricket going on. In Atlanta, the Atlanta Paramveers currently taking on the Fire. Under edge this time, that runs to that fielder at short third man, no run. So the end of again another pretty tidy over from Williams.
All right, Jimmy, while there's a break in the action, I want to take a moment to acknowledge several of the sponsors or individuals who have made the minor league possible. They include Ajit Bhaskar, Raj Jaggi, Team Raj Jaggi, who's the real titan. Omni Mortgage, that's Harman Singh. Patel Brothers, New Bestway Inc., that's the tax firm. And of course, Velumi and Upscale Construction.
Yes, Carl, the Empire State Titans have really put together a great bunch. They're not only playing good cricket here this morning, they've gotten to 98 for 1 at the end of 10. But really, beyond the players playing out in the field, the Empire State Titans have been blessed with good support, and they've done exceptionally well. And so they've made a very good start, not only on the cricket field, but they've done exceptionally well in putting the squad together. And so far, we've seen a good fruit. We've seen good fruits of their labor so far. And Jamie, from what we've seen so far, the Empire State Titans, they look pretty organized. Leading the operations here, the home team responsible for many things, and so far things are running flawlessly at the moment.
Yeah, well, for a start, Len, the ground looks in really good condition. The outfield superb. Obviously the pitch seems to be full of runs. The batsmen certainly have been able to play their shots so far. We've seen a number beyond the boundary as well as a few to the boundary. So superb facility here for run scoring and for cricket.
Yes, Jamie, one of the better facility around. And so we're back with the cricket. There's 98 on the board. A massive start from the Empire State Titans. Haven't been sent in, and they will play their second game in the matchup as New England Eagles will be visiting here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So let's see what we've got. Raymond Ramaratan, it appears, will continue. Went for 8 off his first over. And the way things have gone here, Carl, with almost a 10 run over so far. If you're bowling 1 for 9, you're well within the way and the context of what has happened here today. We've seen a batting domination so far, but this game is far from finished.
Yes, Len, the game has been dominated by the bat to this point, so can the second half of this innings revert to the ball? Guess it is in the air, catch taken, and so that is the end of Gajanan Singh. He falls, and a catch cleanly taken by Yasif Pereira. Well positioned, long on.
Wow, that's a big breakthrough for the New Jersey side, just as that partnership was starting to look like it may be taking the game away from them. They break through, but a superb knock from the skipper of the Empire State Titans, Gajanan Singh. Still a very good foundation at 98 for 2, but perhaps the New Jersey Stallions will think that this is an opportunity now just to hold that scoring rate back some with the wicket of Singh. Obviously, as Carl mentioned a few overs ago, he was the dominant figure in that partnership, and maybe that responsibility now has to fall on the shoulders of Umar Farooq, the big shoulders of Umar Farooq. And the new batsman out in the middle looks to be Javian Thomas.
Yes, Jamie, Javane Thomas comes out here with just a couple of runs for the team to get to the 100. The catching for Stallions have been good. A couple of chances offered. We see Citasia early on in the innings took a diving catch to dismiss Trevon Griffith. And you've seen Pereira taking a well-judged catch. 98 for 2.
So Ram Ratton with the wicket, continuing his good form with the ball so far.
Yeah, Carl and Jamie, we've seen Raymond in the past. He's a quality cricketer. He's a very fine leg spinner. And we know he can bat pretty well. And there we go, a couple of good balls. A very, very quality bowler, wrist spinner. So, as always, you expect variety in that kind of bowling type. And so far he's picked up one.
So, a brilliant over so far from Ramratan. Has 4 dots on the trot, including a valuable wicket. Oh, and just out of the reach of Dominic Ricky. And that gets Javane up and running, not in the most convincing of fashions, but he's up and running, takes the total right up against the 100 at 99 for 2 inside 11 overs.
So they're on the verge of getting to 100 here. Empire State Titans, 99 for 2. Big swing and a miss. This is a quality over from Ramratan. Only 1 run off the over. And Jamie, certainly Stallions would welcome some of these tidy overs. And even better yet, a wicket inside.
Yeah, exactly. And so often we see in T20 cricket, the best way to hold back the run rate of the opposition is to take wickets. And that's exactly what happened there. The partnership that was flourishing, all of a sudden out of the blue, Gajanan Singh mistimed one, the catch was taken, and then only 1 run off the remaining 5 balls in that over. So superb effort from Raymond Ramratton, and the New Jersey Stallions will feel like they've really got a foothold in this game now. And like you say, they'll want to continue that momentum. And Orain Williams, who has been bowling well too, only conceding 14 runs in his 2 overs today. And he'll be bowling to the new man Thomas. And we'll be looking to keep him quiet.
So news coming out of the KKR camp, Jamie, as You've been telling me not too long ago, after this delivery, I'll allow you to give us some of the biggest news coming out for US cricket from the KKR camp in Dubai.
The ball to start the over. Forward goes Thomas, no run. Yeah, thanks Len. So some pretty exciting news announced overnight is that Ali Khan, the USA quick bowler, has obviously been playing in the CPL for the champion Trinbago Knight Riders. He is heading off to Dubai to join the Kolkata Knight Riders now, so continues his journey as a part of the Knight Riders family. So the first ever, I guess, current USA player to be picked up in the IPL. Huge news for Ali Khan. And huge news for USA Cricket. So congratulations to that young man. He's been working hard for many years and he's finally been given an opportunity, I guess, in the biggest show on earth really, the IPL.
So finally the Titans go up to 100. 100 on the board, a single off the bat of Javin Thomas. He goes up to 2. A bit of stifled applause there from the Empire State Pavilion. Jamie, it's 100 for 2 in the 12th over. Three ball here by Orain Williams, who's been tidy so far. And brings the hard hit in Omar Farouk with 3 sixes back onto strike. 3 sixes and 2 fours. He is up to 33.
Big shot, but more height than distance, and the catch is taken. Dominic Riki takes the catch, and now the other man who was part of that big partnership, Umar Farouk, has been dismissed. And you'd have to say that Orain Williams deserved that wicket. He's been bowling tightly since the start of his spell. They haven't been able to get on top of him at any point, and now a false shot produces a skyer from Umar Farouk, and the catch safely taken, and he's dismissed for 33.
Yes, Jamie, in the last 10 balls or so, we've seen some quality bowling led by Ramaratan and now backed up by Orain Williams. And within that 10 delivery space, we've seen a couple of wickets. So good fight back here from the New Jersey Stallions. They've gotten the big man, they've gotten Gajanan. And we could see a difference in the game from now on as Carmichael walks to the middle. But you can't complain with 11 balls bowled. You've picked up a couple of wickets, so not many runs in between that. We saw at 99 how long the team waited to get to 100, and they got to 100, and on the stroke of 100, we saw the dismissal of Umar Farouk. So good here for Stallions as Carmichael comes up to the middle with a score of 100 for 3.
The batsman crossed while the ball was in the air. Carmichael will take his place at the non-striker's end. Thomas back on strike.
So Orain would have picked up his first wicket. He's bowling at 1 for 15 at the moment.
And a superb end to another superb over. It's 2 overs on the trot that have conceded just the 1 run and have also taken a wicket. So a little purple patch here for the New Jersey Stallions, and they'll look to capitalise on this momentum. Of course, 8 overs left in the innings.
Yes, Jamie, we saw 12 balls. The last 2 overs have only gone for 2 runs, and they've picked up 2 wickets. Ramaratan and Orain Williams, the bowling pair. So they have been quite stellar.
Well, if you go back to the previous over before those 2, that ended with 3 dots as well. So you could say in the last 15 balls, there's only been 2 runs.
So Carmichael, the left-hander, the all-rounder comes to the middle, and he's a quality player, is Carmichael. You can't keep him out of a T20 game. And he comes in here with 48 balls remaining. They're going 8.3. And they'll be hoping that they can finish and finish well. It's 100 on the board.
Looking just to run it off the face and take off for a quick single, but his partner Thomas wanted none of it. And the good fielding from the Jersey Stallions continues. And again, this time they will get the single as the ball was wide of the man there. But he managed to cut it off. If it had got past him, it would have been 2 or 3 runs perhaps. So good work in the field again. And in the main, the fielding's been of a very high standard.
Yes, certainly. We've only seen a bit of tough chance for Akeem Dotson in the early, but otherwise than that, the ground fielding has been quite good. The catching, everything that has gone up in the air towards the fielder has been accepted. So good work here from the Stallions. We've got a contest on our hands.
Wide one this time. Thomas flashing hard at it, but it beats the bat into the gloves of Dodson. This time bat on ball, but the fielder's there. Another dot and another very good over. 1 ball left. And you're right, Len, this really is a contest, whereas perhaps 3 or 4 overs ago it was looking a bit one-sided. Big shot this time over the offside. That's going to go all the way. Timed beautifully wide of long off. So the last ball of the over goes for a maximum. Messes up Ramratton's figures somewhat, but he's still only conceded 7 off the over. And his spell so far, 3 overs, 1 for 16. Superb bowling really, but a very good shot by Thomas to finish that over, and perhaps that'll give him some confidence. It's been a bit of a struggle for him so far since he's been out there, but that was a beautiful shot, and hopefully for his sake and the sake of the Titans, that gets his innings underway.
And while there's a short break in the action here, I want to take a moment to say good morning to our good friend Dr. Sheetal Desai of Dynamic Physical Therapy and Rehab Services. Of course, they have locations out in Long Island, in Glen Cove and Hicksville, 2 locations. And so we encourage you to support the Dynamic Physical Therapy, and Dr. Desai, Dr. Desai is located right just to the right of the commentary box, so come on over, say hello, pick up a card. Physical therapy services, particularly in sports, can't go far enough. Hello guys, Dr. Desai, I want to say good morning to you and welcome once again to cricket.
So Ahmed comes back into the attack. 13 runs conceded so far in his spell. Big appeal not out, says umpire Ron McFarlane. So good start here from Ahmed. Coming back in his second spell, Jamie. 3 dot balls.
And a loud appeal there for caught behind. The Stallions thought they had their man, but a shake of the head from the umpire. What a superb start here, 3 dot balls. This time a quick single into the covers. Carmichael for his second run, and I guess the question was always going to be, with the good tight bowling of Orain Williams and Ramratton, who else from the Stallions was going to be able to come in and support those guys. And so far, Rishi Aman is doing a good job from the far end.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So 38 balls still to finish the innings.
And we talked about how the bat dominated the first half of this innings for Titans. So the first 10 overs is dominated by the bat, and so the second 10 overs appear so far to be the ball now on top, as we've seen the bowlers really come to the party once they've got the dismissals of Gajanan Singh and Umar Farooq.
Yes, Carl, you look at the production rate here from both Javin Thomas and Carmichael. Good running.
Yeah,
Thomas
superb
with
running
couple.
there. Superb running. Carmichael, as soon as Thomas knocked that into the gap at mid-wicket, he knew that he wanted to get back for two, and he touched and turned and sprinted to the other end just as the ball arrived back in the bowler's hand, so he judged it to perfection.
Good communication between the two, and the two very fleet-footed runners out in the middle.
So not a quality ball. Still a very good over here from Amin. In fact, that's the completion of it. 3 runs off that over. You can't complain. It's 110 for 3, 36 balls remaining.
And again, so while there's a break in the action, I want to take a moment to once again say good morning to the individuals and sponsors who have made this day possible, and has really been the lifeblood behind the start of minor league cricket here in New York. And they include Ajit Bhaskar, Raj Jaggi, and Team Raj Jaggi, that's Real Titan, Omni Mortgage, Harman Singh, the Patel Brothers, New Best Way Inc., that's the tax firm, Galuri, and Upscale Construction. And of course, Dynamic, we mentioned as well. Dynamic Physical Therapy and Rehab Services also want to make sure that everyone is plugged in on the contribution of Dynamic to this entire spectacle. So, a single moves the total up to 111. 111 for 3, we're in over number 15. Javane Thomas now the man on strike, he's on 10. Trinson Carmichael at the non-strikers end on 3. Ball again worked into the onside, and so strike rotation appears to be the mode of operation at the moment for these two batters out in the middle. And in some ways they might have abandoned the 6 hitting for the moment, just trying to get through these middle overs as we approach the death.
The ball tugged into the onside, and guys, what I've seen here also is that when you look at the batsman production rate, Javin he's up to 11 off 16 already. A bit of good bowling towards him, and Carmichael's on 4 off 8, so already we've seen a lot more balls than runs.
Another single into the offside this time, and of course Ram Rattan has been instrumental to this good spell of bowling from the Stallions, and this will be his last over. So who will follow him up from the Stallions?
Yes, Jamie, Ram Rattan is a look for the future. Such a quality cricketer is Ram Rattan. His leg spin is second to none. He's pretty good. He's pretty young, and his batting, Carl, we've seen him maybe a month or so ago in Brooklyn. A quality batter.
Quality all-rounder for sure. And his wicket, the wicket that he picked up, that of Gajanan Singh, was the important wicket that affected the breakthrough and separated. Not only did he separate the two, but he also we also saw the loss of Umar Farooq shortly thereafter. And since then, the run rate has come way down from what had been up over 10 plus 10 and a half, almost approaching 11, now down to under 8 runs per over, 7.7 to be exact.
Yeah, so the end of a superb spell of bowling there from Ramratton. His 4 overs, just going for 21 runs, of course picking up that key wicket that you mentioned, Carl. So he's gone at an economy of 5.25, which in the context of this match, given the start that the Titans made, is a pretty unbelievable spell of bowling. So well done to that young man.
And again, want to acknowledge the many whom have contributed to this event. And we talked about the individuals, as a wide is indicated. They run for 1, they're going to come back for a second, so they get to those 2 in the end. So a couple of wides, in fact adds 3 then to the tally. Score goes up to 118 as Rishi Amin starts with a wayward delivery.
Carmichael this time gets hold of a big one, straight over the sight screen at the far end. And that's another maximum.
And Trinton Carmichael, Jamie, is one of those cricketers that just seems to have his head about him. He seems to be aware of the game situation at all times, knows when to defend, knows when to just tuck the ball around, and knows when to attack. And just a busy cricketer, just always seems to know how to approach situations, and he is expected to feature very strongly here for Titans.
Into the leg side this time, the sweep shot. They do have protection out there, and there were thoughts for a second of coming back for a 2, but some very good fielding on the boundary keeps them to 1.
And a smart decision by Carmichael in the end to send Javane Thomas back. That was a very good throw right on top of the stumps. Would have seen Carmichael struggling to make his ground. So 125 for 3, over number 16 in progress here. And New Jersey Stallions fighting themselves back into contention.
Down the track, dancing down the wicket, and it's gone upstairs. Javane Thomas, second 6 for him, both of them, in fact no, not both of them in this over. Instead he goes up to 18, 2 6s to him, and the score up to 131 for 3, 27 deliveries left, and maybe a bit of a rebuild now for the Titans.
Yes, Matt, certainly signs in this over that the 2 men in the middle are keen to get on with the job. They've had enough of the tight overs. It's time to take the attack back to the bowlers, and they've certainly done it with some effect, with 16 already off the 3 legal deliveries bowled in this over.
And while the search party has been dispatched to try to retrieve another delivery, or another potentially lost ball, I'll take a moment to also acknowledge Ajit Bhaskar, who is a member of the board for U.S. cricket and for this particular region, the Northeast region, and has done yeoman's work just to make sure cricket happens, and I can't say enough about just all that he has done. Ball hit down the ground, and this time it's gone up and over once again. And so Javane Thomas, 2 in succession, he goes up and over long off.
Javane Thomas now really taking it to Amin. He's come to get on with things. 137 for 3, 22 off the over. Thomas up to 24. And just a little push. Hit 2 6s and then off the back foot defensively. Javane Thomas. Already 22 off the over. Goes straight this time. Is it straight enough? There's a couple of fielders down there. It'll be just a single. 23 off the over. And we're going to have a look. The largest tower, the largest skyscraper on the Manhattan skyline. 23 off it, 138 for 3, 4 overs remain. Thomas on 25, Carmichael on 12, partnership of 38.
Well, that over going for 23, essentially undoing some of the good work that's been done by the Stallions in the last 6 or 7 overs. And of course, as we mentioned, the previous over, Ram Ratton has now bowled out. So whoever takes over from him at this end, it looks like Gavin Brown, is going to have to try and continue the good work done by particularly Ram Ratton and Orain Williams.
And he comes back at a crucial point with just 4 overs remaining. We're at the death. And you know now with 7 wickets in hand, batsmen will be looking to be putting pressure on bowlers. So batsmen will be looking for runs and on the go. And so the question is, can the bowlers deliver and bowl in the right areas to keep balls from flying out of Idlewild Park? That's the question to be answered. The great Sam Supersad makes his way into the ground. I want to say good morning to him. Oh, finding the edge, but just out of the reach of a diving Akeem Dotson. Runs away for a single.
Carmichael on strike does a bit of everything. When he steps out on a cricket field, bats, he bowls. It's handy in the field, but he'll have to get something going here with the bats. Support Javed Thomas, who's looked good so far. Maybe find the boundary himself, who's already hit a maximum already. Gavin Brown, his second over was a bit expensive, and in fact he went for 16. Turned away, may have come off the pad. We'll have to wait and see the signal here. They cross for 1, and it is leg by to Trinton Carmichael. Javane Thomas back on strike.
$140 up on the board. We're into over number 17. 4 deliveries remaining in the 17th over.
Yes, you could say Gavin Brown is at the ground that he sees often, playing for Queen's United, usually.
Right, Max would be familiar with the surroundings, the conditions, bowling up the hill, not the easiest thing to do. And he is certainly settled in for their home ground. Orain Williams as well. This would be their home ground.
Eludes the keeper, and they cross. We'll have to see, could be byes here, and it is. So a bye added to the score. 141 gets Carmichael on strike, 2 deliveries. Good over so far from Gavin Brown. Maybe a few extras, but a leg bye and a bye. It's better than giving up a wide in which you have to reload.
It's another good partnership though we're seeing from another couple of Titans batsmen. This partnership now worth 41.
Oh, good throw, but not sure.
Superb piece of fielding from Dominic Ricky, moving quickly to his left, pick up and throw and hit the stumps.
Could have been close.
Yeah, it would have been close for sure.
So just 1 ball remaining over number 17. 142 for 3.
We finish off strongly, Gavin Brown. Does. You won't mind the single, will Gavin Brown. 5 of the over, 143 for 3 as we head into the final 3 overs of the Empire State Titans innings. Good partnership, 43, approaching the 50 partnership. Javane Thomas on 27 of 26 deliveries. 3 sixes, Carmichael on a runner ball 13. 143 for 3, 18 deliveries remain.
And just a reminder to all in attendance that we are still in the clutches of a pandemic, so please try and follow all the local safety guidelines. If you can, please maintain 6 feet of distance between yourselves and others. Wear your masks, and if you don't have a mask, we actually have some, so make your way over here towards the comm box and we can supply you with a mask.
So Orain starts with a ball that is swatted away nicely here by Javed. They're running quickly and good running pair out in the middle there, Carl. They're very quick. They're going to put pressure on the fielder. They pick up another couple. It's 145.
Yes, man, and the partnership continues to flourish here. We now have 2 set batsmen out in the middle. Partnership of 45 between them. And again, they're off and running. So really good cricket here, rotating the strike, not only just looking for the fences, and they've been very productive. 146 for 3.
So Carmichael on 13 of same amount of ball. We got 16 balls remaining with a projected rate probably within 165, 170. We'll have to wait and see. And considering, Carl, there were 100 in the 12th over. Stallions have certainly pulled this game back slightly.
Yes, Len, they have pulled this game way back.
Oh, what a shot! Carmichael has teed off at the Idlewild Golf Course. That's a big shot from Carmichael. He picks up 6. It's 152 on the board. 152 on the board.
And we have always talked, Len, as the 150 comes up in over number 18, we have always talked about Carmichael knowing when to press the button and when to attack and when to defend. Just a really really good cerebral cricketer. And Carmichael on the charge brings up the 50 partnership between he and Thomas as well.
So a couple of important 152. Not only is the total, but the partnership has gone up to 52. No ball. One of the first we've seen. So followed by a free hit here, Jamie. It's 153 with a chance for Carmichael to swing for the fences.
Yeah, first no ball of the day, I believe. Cardinal sin, of course, in short format cricket. Well bowled. A free hit. They can only manage to squeeze out a single. It's a full pitch delivery landing right on the hopping crease. Carmichael squeezes it out into the offside for 1. So a good comeback from Williams after his blemish the ball before.
So 11 runs off this over. Still a couple of balls remaining.
And so interesting that when the bowlers are under pressure, how they find that good ball to bowl for the free hit. So, and just in the same vein, Orion Williams comes up with a quality ball that the batsman can't really get off the square.
Yes, Carl, maybe the inspiration here as you run into bowl, you've got to tell yourself, listen, I'm on a free hit ball. And so that when the better ball comes out, Jamie, 154.
Yeah, and he follows it up with another good Yorker.
And that's excellent death bowling. Just bowling the ball on a full length, not allowing the batsman to get elevation.
And again, this time right through him. 3 Yorkers in a row. The third one gets through the defences of Thomas and clatters into leg stump, but it looks like Williams may have done himself some damage in his follow through.
He's down, and he looks to be in a lot of pain. Let's hope that he's not too bad. Flu. It doesn't really look promising as Dr. Desai runs on. Let's see if she can offer some bit of assistance. We'll pause here. It's 154 for 4 at the end of 18 overs.
Wasim Shazad. Ah, no, we're nailed down.
So what are you trying to
We bring the red to close the gap up. Oh,
Is that nailed down?
yeah, we got.
Good there?
Okay.
Some Premier League scores, right?
So you're pretty much troubleshooting for that.
So 154. We've got a couple of overs remaining. Carmichael is on 20. Wasim Shazad has come to the middle. And so 12 balls remaining. It's 154 on the board as Carmichael, who's this bowler? Number 5, Gava. So Gavin Brown. And Carmichael, that's a good delivery. And so 11 balls remaining. Still wickets in hand here for the Empire State Titans. And Carl, you get the impression that aggression could be the key word here for the Titans. But Stallions, they still have some quality left.
Yes, Len, and Stallion struck a very severe blow with Oreen Williams having to leave the field of play. I'm not sure if he'll be able to return. The injury looked a bit ominous as this one played up into the off one side. Dominic Ricky with a throw at the stumps at the non-striker's end. And just missing, allowing Carmichael to complete a single. So 1-5-5 for 4. 10 balls remaining here in the innings.
So Wasim Shazad just taking guard, waits for Gavin Brown. Oh, he's gone big.
Looks like it might have gone just a bounce into the boundary, and so that's 4 to Wasim. So he is sent there with a directive, which would be perhaps to get as many boundaries as possible, given that we're at the death. And that pushes the score to 159 with 9 balls remaining.
Definitely, I would do the same. 9 deliveries left, and they've got 6 wickets remaining. So just probably go out and I've got one thing in my mind. Let's try to find the fence. Three deliveries left for Gavin Brown, then he'll be finished. Good delivery. They'll get 1. They're gonna push. They're gonna push for 2.
Oh,
Really good running there between the wickets.
excellent work! Excellent work! Challenging mid-on, and Vish Budinini, who came on for Oreen when he left the field. Not able to prevent the batsman from coming back for a second. So aggressive running between Shazad and Carmichael, and you know Carmichael is going to put pressure. And so they were able to complete 2 in the end. 1-6-1 now for 4 with 8 balls remaining.
One side off, swing and a miss. The ball from Gavin Brown, trying to reduce the runs in this stage. Batsman whether you're a number 4 batsman or a number 11 batsman, usually do like to take advantage of situations like this. Whenever you're batting first, just go out and have a swing.
A little bit of pace off, so good bit of pace variation did the trick there.
Oh, big hit! Wow!
Take that, he says. And up and over, gone, over wide long off. And my word, what a strike by Wasim. Doubles up his total up to 12, takes a score up to 167 as the over comes to an end. 13 from it. 1 over remaining, it's 167 for 4. And this is still a pretty good score for the Empire State Titans with 1 over remaining.
Yeah, still a good score from 20 overs. So with 1 over left and with 6 wickets remaining, Wasim Shahzad with a big 6 there. Gavin Brown, 4 overs for 36 with 1 wicket, so a bit expensive at 9 and over.
So final over coming up. We'll have to wait and see. It appears Umair Ali will finish things off here for Stallions. Carmichael on 21, Shahzad is on 12. It's 167 on the board, 167 on the board. So Carmichael settles away. It's Umair Ali, 167. And he digs this one out. That's a good quality delivery here, Matthew. And we've got 5 balls remaining, 168.
Yeah, Umair Ali will have to bowl a really good over. It's a good way to test at this stage, test yourself. With batsmen just looking for as much runs as possible, it's a good test for the fielders as well, because they are going to press for those 2s and those 3s. Can't afford to make any error because the batsmen are not going to hesitate to run in this last over.
So Shahzad is up to 12 from just 4 balls. He has a good tap in his hand. Oh,
Goes big. And it's gone upstairs. Wasim Shahzad, second 6 to his name. 7 of the over, 4 deliveries remain, 174 for 4. Shahzad came out with a clear message in his mind to go after the ball, and whatever happens, happens.
And he is delivered certainly with aplomb, going at a 360 strike rate, 18 off just 5 balls, including 2 6s and a 4. So clearly he got the message and he's come to the party with the execution. 174 on the board with still 4 balls remaining. Could we be looking at a score in the range of 190?
Well, they'll have to push for it. They'll have to push for it. They'll need 16 of these final 4 deliveries to get to 190.
And so that would be either 4 4s off the next 4 deliveries or a couple of 6s. And the way Wasim Shahzad has gone, you would think perhaps that
It's not too far off.
Yes, exactly. We're very close to getting to that outcome.
yes, Carl, and it's always important in the first game that the players know themselves. So Shahzad seems to be the finisher so far, with 7 balls, in fact 4 balls remaining. Here is Umair Ali.
Oh, goes again! Wasim Shahzad! Maybe he heard you, maybe he wants to get to 190. 2 6s in a row of Umair Ali. 180 for 4, 3 deliveries left.
Oh my, and so pressure on Umair Ali at the moment. He can't bowl the right length here. And missing the length. And Wasim Shahzad all over and smashed it up and over extra cover. And on the offside 6, not the easiest to hit, but made it look easy. And there he goes.
I cannot blame him. Wasim Shahzad, that's the mindset whenever you're coming in with just a handful of deliveries left with
yes.
6 wickets.
Yes, Matt and Carl, the only thing the couple of things that are taking off around here are planes and sixes.
Oh, in the air.
Oh,
Ball dropped.
puts it down. Of all the players on the field, Dominic Ricky, usually the safest pair of hands. And he's not able to hold on.
It was in the air for a while. And Carl is typically or usually a safe fielder, not today. Shazad lived on with a couple of balls remaining. He's up to 26 and the partnership has gone up to 28. It's 182. 182 with 2 balls remaining.
And still the opportunity to do further damage here. Wasim Shazad.
Oh, didn't get it. Didn't get it.
And he got a short pitch delivery, and you saw the intent.
Well, now the most that the Titans can do is make the Stallions chase exactly 190. Impossible for them to get there in legal deliveries.
Irrespective of what happens in this ball, Carl, they'll be looking to get 10 and over.
Or really 9. 9 and a little bit. Maybe change.
Oh, good ball, good ball. Can't get elevation. They're going to get 1. They're going to come back for 2. Is it there? Puts in the slide. And he's gone. So run out 1. 184 is going to be the final score for the Empire State Titans. A brilliant batting display. Stallions have a high chase ahead of them. They will need 185 from 20 overs. So we will take a short break and we'll be back for the chase. Stallions require 185 for victory over the Empire State Titans in match number 1 today.
So somebody's saying that the quality of this thing is not. How you doing? Oh, sorry, man. The atmosphere that this thing give you, I thought you could. I thought I bury you more than 6 feet. I gotta ask Kayambo, you man.
You gotta have like a couple use one.
I see you run over the where they get the class. Yeah, the ball on the last
they're using the condenser.
I mean, what do we need?
They're using a condenser like condenser, what is he doing?
You understand what I'm saying? Like a feed from the mixer out into the device, or does it go to the computer?
It would be something that would go. Oh, this doesn't have it. Yeah. If I didn't realize that's what they were doing.
I mean, if our speakers are positioned in such a way he's like better closer to it, then it works. But you know what? I'll bring the speaker in a bit closer.
Because I need to give an audio in here and then an audio in here. Just a condenser mic that gives audio to this. So there's a condenser in here, but I thought that there might be a. I'm surprised that this doesn't give you the option to like connect like another. Like if you connected like a mic or your own mic to it.
Yeah, we don't take them road. But I was going to fly in slow. But when that might be too much road. Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean. Yeah, but we know the weather, but we take them.
So these are this is also just another output.
You want this number?
That's the memory card slot.
We definitely take them.
Why couldn't that be Yeah, apparently the sound is not that great coming through the condenser.
Right.
So I was trying to see if there's a way to go directly from our board to them.
Okay?
Yeah, the condenser. So what were they doing last week? Were they using the same? No, because he was in front of me, so that was good. I probably was behind him.
Yeah, he knows. Just
You know what I'm saying? Wasn't last week? Weren't they taking a feed?
welcome back to the chase or the reply. So 185 needed. Dominic Ricky will be the man on strike. Sawan Patel is his partner. And Zishan Ahmed has been given the ball here for the Empire State Titans. So very keenly expected chase here from the Stallions. And they'll need to go over 9 and over. So we're just about ready to start. As welcome back Matthew and Carl, and later on Jamie.
So they'll need 185. Ricky off the mark right away. Gets Sawan Patel back onto strike. Zishan starts with a single.
Yeah, these are two very good openers. Sawan Patel is a very keen cricketer. His cricket has really been on the up. He's one of those players, Matt, that plays cricket 365 days a year. Loves the game. Quality player. We'll need to give them a good start. Couple of good balls here from Zishan. And we've gone for a couple of singles. Not bad here from the opener. They'll need to go pretty well. It's a big score on the board, Carl. It's 183 from 118 balls. So Stallions will have their work cut out.
Yes, Len, they'll need to go at better than 9 and over, really right from the outset. And so typically that's not the easiest task. They need a good start, and they need to put some partnerships together. And they have two quality batsmen out in the middle who will be able to get them off to a good beginning.
Oh, that's a good looking shot from Dominic Ricky running up towards the mid-on boundary. Fielder comes in and make a very good save. Perhaps a boundary. Would have been Damian Jacobs.
Good work in the field there. 4 runs of the over so far, halfway through it. Zishan Ahmed, 1, 1 and 2 has been the over so far. Going to Dominic Ricky, who's on 3.
So the target is 185. They have taken 4 off it already, Carl, and have to be a long batting experience here.
Yes, then they still need another 181 from 117 balls. So quite a long way to go. They do need to get off to a good start.
So this has been a very good over so far from Zishan. He's one of the top bowlers around. We saw him last week, Carl, playing in the Long Island Titans game. Bowled extremely well, and going to be quite pleased that he has been selected for the Titans this year. Ricky on 3, the man on strike. Not a quality delivery. So for the last couple of balls, there's only been 3 players on the field. It's Zishan to Ricky to Gajanan Singh.
3-man cricket. It's effective to this point. At some point, you expect that 10 to expand.
So ball heading down the leg side. Signal a wide. A wide signal by Danny Khan. So 5 on the board. Some ways to go here. They'll have to do what's happening on the airport side, Carl. They'll have to take off. There's 5 on the board. Ricky on 3.
Oh, in the air. Who is there? This it falls into no man's land, and then we say, is there a land in the U.S. that's no man's land? You might have found it there.
Not around here, Carl. Real estate is quite expensive anywhere in New York, and so no man's land. Don't think so. Not here. At least not in zip code 11432. right next to John F. Kennedy, where that is prime real estate spot.
Well, somebody's got to be collecting for Dominic Ricky. He survives, and he gets through. He goes up to 4. It's six for no loss after 1. Chasing 185 needed for victory.
So the couple of coaches on both sides. We've seen Steve Messiah and Kevin Darlington. So 6 on the board. The coaches for the teams: New Jersey Stallions by Daly and McGarrell, and the Empire State Titans, Darlington and Messiah. So Carmichael has been given the ball.
And of course, then the managers, Kirk Higgins, and also we have on the New Jersey Stallion side, Prasad Nasika. Have to make sure that the management team is acknowledged.
So down the ground, Dominic Ricky, good placement, and it goes away for 4 off the bowling from Carmichael. So not a good start.
Yeah, not a good start for Carmichael, but a good start for Dominic Ricky. Goes up to 8. Quality batsman when he gets going. Quality batsman when both of these get going. So it could be a tough partnership. They're going to want a wicket before these two can get set. And Ricky, just a little nudge. Hits a 4 down the ground and rotates the strike to Sawan Patel. 174 more required. Asking rate just over 9.3.
And Dominic Ricky, a quality player, he needs to again approach this run chase with some bit of a plan. And how are they going to start? Where are they going to look to accelerate? Whom are the boulders they may look to target? Well, that's generally the plan that you set for yourself in a run chase that requires 9 men better, as this one is going down the leg side towards the fine leg region. And in comes Damon Jacobs once again, turned a couple of wides added as signaled by umpire McFarlane. And so the score moves on up to 14 for no loss.
So ball eluding Jalad Dua. Ball turned into the onside. Patel picks up another run. He goes up to 2 and brings Dominic Ricky, who has batted pretty well so far. We saw Justin Isilva placing the ball nicely for 4. He's going to be a man to give Stallions a good start. Still a long way to go. Oh, straight down the ground again. Mid-on will come around. And does well to keep the ball in play. A couple of runs there for Dominic Ricky. He continues to bat quite fluently here, Matthew. It's up to 17 on the board.
Yeah, 11 off the over. 2 deliveries left. Dominic Ricky, 11 of just 8 deliveries. Already just 1 boundary though. But the running has been good. He's got a couple of runs on 2 occasions as he defends. Last ball for Carmichael in his first over. 11 off it.
So ball guided away. Javin Thomas, always very quick on the field. Is it Javin? Well, the fielder comes in quite quickly. 17 on the board, 2 gone. And so they're going 8.5 runs and over. Needed is 9.3. Not a bad start. Still early for them is Sawan Patel on 2 and Dominic Ricky on 11.
And so while there's a break in the action, we'll take a moment to say good afternoon. Now that we've hit the afternoon, to Bassett Thompson, Commissioner of the Cricket Commissioner in the Public Schools Athletic League. Bassett always knows where cricket is played. Finds these games. Minor league cricket on the way, so another good delivery here Just ball just outside the off stump from Zishan, making good height. Zishan just making good height off the surface. And it's collected by Dua for no run. 17 for none over number 3 just on the way.
Can you send us URL?
Oh, good looking shot from Sawad Patel, goes in front of the come box. And that's a lovely strike off the bat of Patel. He goes up to 6 of 21 without loss.
Yeah, good shot from Savan. Straight enough. Good enough for 4.
Well, this is a good start from the Stallions, Carl. Nothing wrong so far. They're going at 9 and over. They're keeping in touch with the run rate.
And they've not had to take a lot of risk, which is what you want to see now, a mix-up here. And in the end, the batsmen scamper back.
Yeah, Farouk saving a couple of runs there. Just getting the foot down at the right time. And probably Matt will have to sign Farouk up to Premier League, which kicked off today. What's going on with the up in England there?
Ball keeping low from a shortish length.
Well, the champions Liverpool begin their campaign just a few minutes, taking on newly promoted Leeds United in a clash of champions. Premier League champions versus Championship champions. Should be pretty interesting to see how Leeds will do in the Premier League. Arsenal, 3-0 win over Fulham. And we saw, this one is pulled away, protection out there. Trevor Griffith comes around, prevents a boundary, a single. And then just ending a few minutes ago, we saw Crystal Palace getting a 1-0 win over Southampton. 163 required from 103 deliveries, 22 for none. Decent over from Zishan, a good comeback after he was hit for 4 second ball. Off the hips, get a single. That'll end the over. 1-2 Dominic Ricky, 23 for none after 3 overs.
Chelsea have.
You change teams every year? What is this?
No, I'm still going with Leicester, but if I'm being honest, Chelsea have too strong of a
Man,
team to
shooting
ignore.
blanks.
They bought like everybody from Europe's biggest leagues. So they're unreal.
I still feel like they're more like a third place.
They're on Davis CPL experience, right, Mark? Trinidad.
After 2 over was 17. Third over was,
So Deron Davis comes into the attack quite early here, spin. Deron Davis has played quite a bit in the West Indies, played for the Trinidad and Tobago national team at one point. Had a very strong junior career on the 15, on the 17, on the 19 representation. Oh, ball cut away. That's a good looking shot. Carmichael gets into the way and it becomes a top ball.
And just that's the athleticism and just the quality of Tristan Carmichael. He gives you everything on the cricket field. Batting, bowling, just a superb cricketer all around.
And
And that's what you saw there.
to add to your list of how accomplished Deron Davis is, would have played in the CPL for St. Lucia Zooks at one point and the Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel. This one in the gap. Really good looking shot from Dominic Ricky. And it's gone all the way. Maybe one of the shots of the day. A good start from Davis. A couple of dots. And then Dominic Ricky finds the boundary. 27 for none.
Yeah, class looking shot. They look pretty good on this ground. The class of Dominic Ricky is up to 16. What a classy shot for 4.
So he looks to be in good nick here, Dominic Ricky, as the wide is served up. We get the indication from umpire Rowan McFarlane. He and Danny Khan doing duties here this morning into the afternoon. Another delivery up to Carmichael, and again, just his quality on display, just keeping the batsman planted for the moment. And another delivery that's wayward outside the off stump. 28 for none. Over number 4 is in progress here. Being bowled by Deron Davis. And he finishes well in the end, just 5 runs from the over. And so after 4, it's Stallions chasing 185 meters for victory. They're 28 for none after 4 overs, with Dominic Ricky on 16 and Savan Patel on 7.
In addition to the Premier League opening day, Leeds taking on Liverpool in about 15 minutes, and then at 3 o'clock, Newcastle United versus West Ham. Speaking of football, Ligue 1 would have been playing in France, and PSG managed to lose their opening game 1-0 to newly promoted side FC Lens, or FC Lens, however you pronounce it. NFL kicked off as well. Kansas City Chiefs with a win over the Houston Texans, if you're into that.
What happened to my backyard cricket? What happened to my street cricket? So Carmichael switches ends. He comes from the bottom end, from the com box end. And we'll come into ball to Patel. Patel is on 7, is 28 on the board. Oh, pulled into the onside. Trevon Griffith will run around.
US Open tennis going on as well. Not so sure how that's been going, if I'm honest. I'm being brutally honest to myself. I haven't been up to date with that.
Yes, so it's all happening here. 29 on the board. Dominic Ricky has looked pretty good. He's up to 16 from 17. And Ricky Carl knows the importance of him getting a big score here today. They're chasing a very good score posted by Titans. It's 184 posted.
Yes, Len, and Matt, I don't blame you. You can't have every single bit of information there is to know. You know, 90%, 95, 99% of it. It's probably good enough for government work, as they say.
So,
Well, I called the Derby and I called the Belmont, so in the air, fielded out. They're going to come across for a couple of runs, looks like. Preakness Stakes as well, next month, October. Hoping to nail all 3 races. Called Tis the Law for the Belmont, but he didn't call him in the Derby. Pulled away this time and running away, and may have gone all the way. Yes, it has. So 4 runs, 5 overs completed. They're going at exactly 7 and over. 35 without loss. Sawan on 8. Ricky on 22.
So we're just outside the outskirts of the John F. Kennedy International, Carl. They tell us the 6th busiest airport in the country, behind the likes of Chicago, Atlanta, LAX, Dallas. And so Kennedy comes in at about 6 or 7. And I'm pretty sure if you've come to New York, certainly you would have passed through John F. Kennedy at some point. When last you went through there, Carl?
It hasn't been up since the advent of COVID land. Hasn't been a while. I'm staying far away from airports these days. But certainly, in fact, you say the 6th busiest. I actually would have thought John F. Kennedy would have been up a little bit higher. Certainly, it's one of the big hubs in the Northeast.
Not really, Carl. You'd be surprised. Ooh, look at that. Look what's coming up there.
It's a big one.
So they are appealing for the wicket of Dominic Ricky or Savan Patel in this case. Umpire McFarlane not interested. Oh, a diving stop and brilliant. In fact, they scamper through for one. So Jacobs diving away, keeping the ball from eluding him, which may have gone away to the boundary, but in the end, gotten away from him just a bit, and just that little bit of opening. And Ricky and Patel took advantage and scampered through for a single.
Still a really good fielding. I'd rather a single than a 4.
So Ricky on 22 turns it into the onside. Farouk is there. And Carl, they tell us 37,000 people have employment at John F. Kennedy. And so just making sure things run smoothly there. Ball jumping straight back to Darren Davis. And Dominic Ricky picks up his 23rd run, his 37 on the board. We're into over number 6. And Darren Davis, he's been quite economical so far. He's bowled 10 balls. He's only given up 7 runs. A man who's played regional cricket and a brief run at the CPL level.
And then just coming back to these two opening batters. Both have, you might say, have gotten starts here. Dominic Ricky, perhaps, well, he would have faced more deliveries than Savan Patel. But both have gotten a start, and so now they have to look to convert this start into really a big contribution here for Stallions. 185 is their target.
Oh, swatted into the onside, safe shot. Javin Thomas, it appears. It comes around. Someone picks up another run. He goes up to 10, is 38 on the board.
So the timing may be off a tad bit there for Savan Patel. He's hitting the ball out of the middle, but not the balls are not carrying to the boundary, and so that is factored into his slow progression. Jacobs puts it down. So ball was in the air. He was backpedaling a bit, and the English off the leather may have been his undoing. It goes through the hands, and a chance for Dominic Ricky. He escapes with 1, and so it's now 39 for none at the end of 6 overs. So power play is over, and 40 is actually the total on the board. Correction, 40 for none after 6. And so Dominic Ricky escapes. He gets a chance as a catch put down by Jacobs, who has now been introduced into the attack, and so he'll continue here to Savan Patel.
So Damian Jacobs would have had a short stint with the Barbados Tridents. And so he comes in here. The Empire State Titans, they do have a very good bowling attack, and we've seen the like of Zishan, we've seen Trinson, we've seen Darren Davis, Matt, and now Damian Jacobs, he's been throwing the ball. So coming back to the, well, there's a quick break here, back to the John F. Kennedy business, Matthew. There's also a pet terminal. That pets traveling around the world, sometimes not on in transit flight, Carl. They come here, spend a day, spend a few hours, they have to be taken care of.
A pet terminal.
Yeah, race horses as well coming in from Dubai. Some of the workers say whenever you're getting them clean and all dressed up, as we see a wide bolt here, you're taking care of $1 million right there.
In the case of racehorses, for sure. I know they have to go through a quarantine process. Ooh!
So someone goes stumped off the bowling of Jacobs, and the Stallions have lost one. They've lost someone Patel for 10. It's 41 for 1.
So Dua, the man doing the work behind the sticks, and that's the first wicket to fall here for Stallions.
Fine, how are you? Yeah, like the shirt.
So a breakthrough for the Titans finally. And it looks like the man who was injured in the previous innings, Lorraine Williams, has had some magical treatment during the break. So he's striding up to the middle at number 3 for the Stallions.
Yeah, good bit of work there from Damien Jacobs. Jamie got Sawan Patel to come down the track looking for one of those volleyballs, didn't get it. And in the end, Jalad Dua puts his name into the scorecard. While he didn't bat, he gets a chance. His name will appear in the scorecard so far as a stumping. So Damien Jacobs is struck in his first over.
Making up somewhat for the drop catch in the previous over.
A lot of talent we've seen in just one game so far, Jamie, and spread across the entire country, and some talented individuals on display. We've seen the likes of Trevon Griffith, Darren Davis, Damien Jacobs, not forgetting the local stars. And so over number 7, new man in, Orain Williams. And Orain Williams, Jamie, this is familiar territory to him. This is his home club, Queens United.
And coming back to your point, Jamie, of he left the field when the Stallions were bowling, and it turns out that he actually sustained just some muscle contract, and so he had some muscle spasms, and so that seemed to have been sorted out with the help of our very own Dr. Desai from the Dynamic Physical Therapy and Rehab Services, and so he's back in good nick, back in touch, and seeing no worse for the wear and tear.
And his innings is underway now with a drive down to long off for a single. Brings Dominic Riki back on strike. Riki has been a little bit lucky, a couple of chances, one certainly that went down, another couple where he's just cleared the field. But he's still there and gets another run to his tally there with a nice punch off the back foot out to the sweeper cover sweeper I should say.
Yeah, Ricky is going to be a key man here. How well Stallion will chase 185. He's off with a start already, considering he's up to 26. Chance or no chance, but he'll have to push on from here. He's batting with new man Orain Williams, and Orain, he's a top class player himself.
Some good bowling from Jacobs here. Finishes a tidy over and a successful over at that, taking the wicket of Patel.
Conceding just 4 runs in the process, and so a good insertion of Damien Jacobs into the attack, and right away he pays dividends. 44 for 1, 7 overs gone, 185 is the target, and at the moment the New Jersey Stallions going at 6.3 runs per over, 6.3 per over. They needed 9 at the outset, and so the asking rate up over 10 now, approaching 11, 10.9 per over is the ask, and so it gets incrementally more difficult from here, Jamie, in terms of getting to this total that's been set, 185 the ask.
So Carmichael continues, and a single to Orain Williams. So Carmichael comes into his third over. He started bowling over number 1 from the Kennedy end, and then bowled the second over from the com box end. Now he's gone upstairs again. So Carmichael.
3-1 over spells then. As this one tugged into the leg side, he may have found the gap. He is between the two men in the deep. So a very good placement from Dominic Ricci and a boundary. Takes the score to 49 and his score to 30.
And Dominic Ricci, you'd think, has to look to cash in here on this start. He's gotten the start. It's 30 from 28, so he's just above run a ball. But that said, he's been out there for quite some time. He's set, and we know his quality, and he'll have to look to anchor one end and let his batters bat around him. But so far, he's up and running and off to a good start.
Yes, Carl, and the fact is, Carmichael and Dominic Ricci would have been on the same side in many franchise cricket that we have seen in the New York area. And that is what franchise cricket has really become, Jamie. You play one day on the same side, and then the very next day you are your opponents and your rivals. So Dominic Ricci and Carmichael, they know each other pretty well. And this is going to be a good contest here with Ricci up to 30 already. He's gotten a start. And it's up to 41 here for the Stallions. They still require 136 from 76 balls.
Yeah, you make a really good point there, Len, that although this is the first day of a brand new competition, most of these players would have played against each other and with each other a lot over the years. And perhaps that also speaks to the quality of cricket we've seen on display here today. They look like they've been playing together more than they have. And certainly these two men, Carmichael and Ricci, two of the more accomplished cricketers around the New York region.
So the 50 comes up here for the Stallions. They're going at 6.6 and over. Yes, they get an applause from their camp. Inside out, running up towards the point boundary. There's a chase here for Darrell Davis. A chase in which he loses. And that runs away for 4. Good looking shot from O'Reilly Williams over the infield. 54 on the board.
And that's a quality stroke from O'Reilly. We know his quality. He's a top all-rounder, playing on his home ground. And already up and into the action here. 7 from 5 balls. Looking to build another partnership here with Dominic Ricci. And Stallions still in the hunt for sure, with 9 wickets in hand. And a couple of set batsmen now out in the middle. Though O'Reilly has just gotten there, he looks to be very comfortable against this bowling attack.
So 10 runs in the over so far with 1 ball remaining. We've seen a couple of 4s. We've seen 2 singles. So Carmichael is bowling none for 28.
Looks to go for the pedal sweep there. No contact. And a good finish to the over for Jensen Carmichael. Couple of dot balls. But the over does go for 10. A relatively good one for the New Jersey Stallions. Of course, they need closer to 11 and over from here on out if they are to chase down the target.
So it doesn't get any easier.
So just in case you're just coming into the ground or you're watching the feed and you wanted to know what happened, so 184 posted by the Empire State Titans with Gajanan Singh top scoring with 44. We also saw Omar Farouk who got 34. Javed Thomas got 30. Wasim Shazad got 27. And when you look at the Empire State scorecard, guys, no one has really failed.
Carmichael got some runs as well. Bit of a mix-up there. Miscommunication between Williams and Ricci. In the end, Williams retreats, and so the score remains at 54.
Driving down the ground just for the single, looking to use his feet. Was Ricci not quite getting to the pitch of the ball, so just having to hold back on the shot somewhat. Just chipping the infield for a single.
So nice little partnership building here. 14 so far, but They have to contend with some very good tidy bowling from the pair of Damian Jacobs, and in fact from the trio of Damian Jacob, Darren Davis and Carmichael.
And Damian Jacobs is a quality spinner. A man who would have played first-class cricket in the Caribbean, represented Jamaica, and of course we've talked about his exploits or his short stint with the Barbados Trident, and so he's on display here. Ooh, and might have chopped on.
Chopped it on.
Yeah, it's ball.
So looking to make width and played up through the offside, and in the end just dragged it onto the sticks. And so big wicket here for Titans as Rain Williams, who was again just looking to get into his groove. He is dismissed, and so it's now 55 for 2, and the Rain falls for 7.
So Damian Jacobs picks up his second wicket. In fact, both wickets comes off the shoulder, and certainly the bowling of Damian Jacobs. Jamie is bowling at 2 for 5. You can't ask for something better than that, as the left-hander Raj Bafsar makes his way to the middle with a required scoring rate of 11.6. They're going at 6.2, so some work to be done to close that gap, and it's 55 for 2.
Yeah, well, I think we can safely say that Jacobs has cancelled out the drop catch earlier. 1.5 overs, 2 for 5. Remarkable bowling figures, really, in the context of this match. To only go for 5 runs and 11 balls, and to take those 2 crucial wickets.
And while there's a slight break in the action, I want to say good afternoon to the original Robert Samuels, man who I call he's the resident here of the resident musical director here at Idlewild Playing Facility, and of course not to be confused with the former West Indies and Jamaica player Robert Samuels. Robert will tell you that he is the original. The next man is the carbon. So 55 for 2, Raj Bafsar, and he paddles this one into the onside to get himself away and running. And so that takes the score up to 56 on the board. And our good man, our good statistician, Matt, is tracking all the happenings in the English Premier League, and already is telling me that Liverpool is up and running after minute number 4 with a penalty to start ahead of Leeds, as Mo Salah, the man who was converted from the spot. And so it's Liverpool off to defending their campaign, their EPL campaign, looking to defend their championship. Will be perhaps a little bit tougher this year. Strong Man City team, and as Matt, you've selected Arsenal as your team, or you've selected Chelsea as his team. Before it was Leicester. At some point, alright, so it's still Leicester. Now Chelsea seems to be your pick for as the favorite. And new bowler being introduced here in the form of the captain. Brings himself on, Gatchaman Singh. Oh! Through the gates, and the stumps have been knocked backwards. So a big strike, first up by the captain, and he goes right through Raj Bafsar, and that's the third wicket to fall here.
Yeah, almost yorked himself there to Bafsar, just leaning forward to a slow, loopy delivery, and the ball just snuck through under his bat and clattered into the stumps. So the perfect start for skipper Gatchaman Singh. Wicket first ball.
Yeah, we see what Raj Bafsar, we've seen batsman in international cricket these days, Jamie, always a little bit hesitant towards the end, and the reason being, you're checking something just to make sure just to make sure that the foot was behind the line.
this case, then he was slowing up to give Akeem Dotson an opportunity to actually cross into the field of play.
Yes, Carl, there is one of the ways you can get out by being timed out. So just want to make sure that Akeem doesn't fall without facing a ball. That'll be quite an occurrence. We've seen golden ducks, but I don't know what you call that, Jamie. You haven't made your way onto the field and you're out.
It will be history in the making on day one of minor league cricket.
1-1. Deadline 1-1.
So,
Wait, no. Offside. VAR.
so VAR coming to the fore in EPL. Leeds had, for the moment, looked like they had equalized.
So Akeem Dotson, very experienced. Jamie has been around the national team for some time and still knocking on the door.
And he gets his account underway with a nice firm push down the ground. And in fact, a bit of a fumble there in the deep allows Ricky to scamper back for a second to the danger end. So Dodson underway with a couple and a nice looking shot.
And as we've said, with a couple of wickets that have fallen here, Ricky has to be the man to just look to anchor things here for Stallions. As he's been there for some time, he's a set man, and he'll have to look again to go with the plan here. His captain has joined in, and two of them out in the middle. They cross a one, they turn for the second, and they get too easily in the end. So good running between Dotson and Ricky.
So 4 runs in the over so far with a wicket. Scoring rate, in fact the required rate has gone up to 12.
And that's what these two are going to have to do. They're going to have to really scamper between the wickets, in between the good balls and in between the boundary balls. If they knock the ball into a gap, they're going to have to push for 2s and 3s. They're both very quick between the wickets. And they need to continue to put pressure on this field, obviously with a run rate required of up towards 12.5. They need every run that they can squeeze.
So that actually brings us to the halfway mark of the innings. With 10 overs completed, we'll take a break here, and before we actually break, I want to take a moment to acknowledge those that have supported the minor league cricket opening. They include Raj Jaggi and the team over at Raj Jaggi. Your home, your real estate home, sold and guaranteed. Omni Mortgage, that's our good friend Harman Singh. The Patel Brothers, New Bestway Inc., that's the tax firm. Valuti, Upscale Construction, and of course Dynamic Physical Therapy and Rehab Services. And of course want to acknowledge Ajit Daskar, who has certainly done yeoman's work as a director in USA Cricket, and has certainly put a lot of work into making sure that things get up and running in good order here for minor league cricket 2020. And want to acknowledge Ajit's contribution and certainly the work that he has done to make things go here. In addition, in the statistician for this game, Dervon Wallace, the man you know as Dunga, doing a lot of work making sure that all the happenings from out in the middle is accurately tracked and scored and presented so that those around not physically present would be able to kind of keep track of things happening here at Idlewild Park. So the news at the break, at the halfway point of the run chase, is that Stallions, who are chasing 185 needed for victory, they're 61 for 3 at the halfway point, and so that's the latest here from Idlewild Park.
Yes, Carl, Trevon Griffith has been given the ball. Dotson on 5. So we've seen a lot of spin so far from the Empire State Titans. And in fact, only Zishan Ahmed has bowled fast. Trevor Griffith, 61 for 3. Empire State, when they batted Carl, they were 98 for 1 at the end of their 10. So a big difference here, 62 for 3. Just crossing the halfway stage, Jamie. There's still a long way to go with a required rate keep climbing.
Yeah, they're going to have to find at least a boundary and over from here to keep up with that rate.
Or they need like 1 or 2 big overs to get them right back on track.
So could be leg by, we'll wait and see. Umpire Danny Khan gets involved. The many signals of the umpires are, most of the signals, Jamie and Carl, are really directed for the scorers. Of course, the only one. A big shot from Akeem Dotson. And that's the first maximum of the New Jersey Stallions innings. Akeem Dotson goes up to 12 with 69 for 3. A good looking strike.
And that's a clean strike indeed. Akeem Dotson getting effectively a half volley, just getting right to the pitch of it and lifting it up and over long on. So getting the encouragement from his teammates out in the deep, just pointing out nothing has happened, only one bad ball in the over, and so this one steered down to third man. Akeem will keep the over, 9 runs from it, 11 gone. It's 7-3 at the end of 11.
And Jamie, this minor league setup and certainly the exhibition games will do a couple of things for some players. Some players who probably want to advance their cricketing career and get up to the national level. That's one. New players. And then of course we have the other set, like the likes of Akeem Dotson, who still want to get back into the setup. So it's gonna be the past versus the present and the future of minor league cricketers.
Yeah, and that's one of the most exciting things about this tournament, is it's providing opportunities for all of the cricketers in the country to play against the cream of the crop. Of course, all these guys are playing week in, week out in various leagues around the country, but often there's this one, not sure if it came off bat, but it goes past the keeper. And yes, it was the outside edge. So another run to Dodson. But yeah, sometimes the standard of league cricket isn't, shall we say, of the absolutely highest calibre, but that's one thing that this tournament guarantees. It's the best of the best from around the country playing against each other week in, week out. So the cream will rise to the top, as they say. And it's an opportunity for every player who would like to advance their careers, as you say, Len, to put their name up in lights.
So a couple of runs in the over. Akeem remains on 14, the man on strike. 33 to Dominic Ricky. And we've seen 3 wickets to have fallen so far. Patel for 10. Oh, what a shot here from Akeem Dotson. A right-hander shot. And he picks up a couple of runs. Very innovative, Carl. As we've seen those shots really come out in T20 cricket in the modern time.
Yes, Len. And you can tell that the innovation, it comes from all the T20 that's played at the international level. IPL, CPL, Big Bash, all these leagues around the world. And we see players getting more and more inventive from day to day and from tournament to tournament. 74 for 3. We're in over number 12. 185 are needed. And a good bowling by Gajan Singh continues. And only 4 runs in the over so far with 1 delivery to go. And he has bowled up quite well.
Put it down, I think.
In the deep, so he wasn't able to reel it in, but did keep the batters to just a single. And so that will complete the over. 75 on the board, 5 runs from the over, 75 on the board after 12. And so 110 more runs are needed from 48 balls.
So a chance goes begging there. Would have been the second wicket for skipper Gajan Singh, and it's interesting to watch his tactics in terms of rotation of bowlers. Up until the last couple of overs, they were relying on Jacobs and Carmichael, who of course with their type of bowling spin the ball away from the right-handers, but with the coming of Akeem Dodson to the middle, who perhaps they see as a bit of a threat, they've gone to the 2 off-spinners who take the ball away from the left-hander. So very clever use of bowler rotation, and you know, it's a lucky thing for Singh that he's got those options up his sleeve. Not every captain has those options.
So ball sliding down the leg side, an aggressive shot attempted by Dodson. We'll wait and see from Danny Khan. In fact, the ball would have come off the bat, so a couple of runs here for Akeem Dodson. Takes him up to 19, and we haven't seen Dominic Ricky on strike for some time. He's watching the action with 33 off 33. The ball cracked into the offside, goes up to Avin Gangadin, one of the young players, just about 19 or maybe 20 these days. And score goes up to 78 for 3 as Trevon Griffith will come into bowl to Dominic Ricky.
And one of the stars of public schools athletic cricket, Avin Gangadin. John Adams land, they were champions in the PSAL year before, or not this year obviously, but no, we had it with COVID about, PSAL thankfully suspended, and not out is the indication, as it doesn't look like Duo ever collected the ball, not sure, but perhaps a missed opportunity there, as the score remains at 78. 78 for 3 over number 13. In progress here, Trevon Griffith with ball in hand.
So the required rate now up to 14, approaching 14 and a half. The Stallions are really going to have to decide when they want to put the foot down on the gas pedal, so to speak. It's approaching do or die time, really.
I guess at some point Stallions will have to go, or at least target someone to at least get themselves back in the hunt from just a run rate standpoint. Run rate skyrocketing now, up over 14, yes. A strong pull into the outside with the good field well positioned, and so can't elude Avin Gangadin at backward square. So the score goes up to 79. 106 needed from 44 balls. Big hit down the ground, man in the deep. Well positioned once again, and restricted the batsman to just a single. So batsmen cannot be, in fact the bowling unit cannot be displeased with just conceding singles. This time a big hit, up and over, gone the distance. And so Dominic Ricky closes out the over in style. He goes upstairs and takes the total up to 86. He himself gets up to 40.
Well, they really needed that blow. Came just at the right time. And perhaps that's a signal that these guys have decided to put the foot down. It's not that they haven't been trying to play the good shot, but the good tight bowling of the Empire State Titans has meant they've been unable to hit the ball cleanly to and over the boundary, but finally Ricky able to make a clean contact, and that was probably one of the biggest sixes we've seen today. There have been some beauties, but that was certainly out of the top drawer.
And we need a lot more of those. Required rate 14 and over. As Liverpool regained their lead over Leeds, they were at 1-1. Virgil van Dijk from a corner kick, making it 2-1 to the champions in the 23rd minute over Anfield. 99 required from 42 deliveries for the Stallions. A tall ask. Swing and a miss from Dotson.
And the good bowling of Gatanan Singh continues. 2 overs, 1 for 10 so far, coming into this one. And Dotson is down the track and swinging this one down to long on. And Titans will be content to just conceding singles here and there, and certainly starving Stallions of being able to secure boundaries, as that's what's required from their standpoint. And good execution, good field placement by the captain, the experienced captain, Gatanan Singh.
Short ball this time, just punched down the ground for another single. Again, as you say, Carl, Titans will not be displeased with that. It's really only boundaries at this point that can hurt them. Jumbo jet number 687 goes on overhead. Another mistimed shot, attempting to go down the ground, got the inside half, just a single to mid-wicket. So just struggling to find the middle of the bat at the moment, these two.
And somebody will need to bring out the 6-shooter in a second. Six hitting may have to come to the fore here at some point. This one hit again down into the onside, and actually gets to the boundary this time. And that takes it total up to 93. So productive shot in the end. Off the blade of Dominic Ricky. He goes up to 45. And still 92 more runs required. Only 6 overs remaining after this one.
Hit nicely again, but he's picked out the man in the deep. Just the single this time to retain the strike. 8 off the over, not really enough at this stage. 94 for 3 at the end of 14.
Yeah, Dominic Ricky's hung in there, 46 off 39, but asking rate maybe a little bit too much. 15 and over, it's quite an ask. Dotson and Ricky are both set, partnership of 38, but they'll need to turn it on if they want to get over the line.
So 4 conferences across the U.S. Western Conference, Central Conference, Eastern, and Southern Conferences in this 2020 minor league or major league cricket. It's a minor league exhibition in this at the outset. And of course the Empire State Titans representing the Empire State of New York. Represented with a couple of teams. We'll run through conferences momentarily. Ball hit well down the ground. Again, protection at long on in the form of Griffith. And so again, just like you would starve a fire, Matt, the Stallions being starved here of boundaries. Only ones and twos, and Titans know ones and twos can't hurt them. And so protecting the boundaries well at the moment, and content to just concede runs on the interior.
Dead ball. Ricky clearly not ready for something. Pulled back pretty early, and there's the famous signal.
And it looks like there may have been some field settings still. The motion fielders are moving about, so correctly Dominic Ricky just stepped out of the box. And again, that is, deliveries like those are nothing more than sort of a long hop of sorts, and so far the batsmen are not punishing the loose balls. They're content to hitting it into the deep and picking up ones and twos, but some of those deliveries will soon have to be flying up and over the boundary, or at least getting to the boundary. Otherwise, this run rate will continue to skyrocket up, now close to 16 the ask.
And that, I believe, will be the first half century of minor league cricket for 2020, and in fact, minor league cricket full stop. Of course, there may have been one in Atlanta that we're unaware of.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Leeds United have drawn level again.
And catch is taken by Trevon Griffith. And just making it look very effortless, nonchalant in the deep. And Damon Jacobs picks up another. And so he has been the main destroyer here. And just picking up wickets after wickets. So he takes it cleanly. And so now it's 99 for 4.
Yeah, good catch from Trevon Griffith out of the boundary. Third wicket for Damien Jacobs in his third over. He's only given up 11. He's picked up the wickets of Sawan Patel, Orain Williams, and now Akeem Dodson. As he was making the point that Leeds have drawn level through Patrick Bamford. It's now 2-2 after just half an hour played over at Anfield. In for quite a treat over there in England. 86 required from 31 deliveries, asking rate of over 16 and over for the New Jersey Stallions. In quite some trouble. Dominic Ricky has played a very good innings of 50.
So Dominic Ricky's half century comes up of 43 balls. He struck 1 6 and 5 4s, 116 strike rate. He's still out in the middle, but needs some support here. If Stallions should overcome 185 or get to the target of 185 that's required, as the new batsman strides to the middle in the form of Yasset Pereira. And so he comes to the middle with having his work cut out for him here. Damien Jacobs to continue.
Oh. Big shot for LBW. The only thing I can think is perhaps it was sliding down the leg side because it hit him very low. He doesn't seem entirely displeased with the decision, so the end of another successful over for Jacobs. 3 successful overs in his spell. He is 3 for 11, and he really has been the danger man for the Empire State Titans, doing a superb job. And you've got to think that while Dominic Ricky is there in the middle, there is still a chance for the Stallions, but that chance is slipping away. They need a big over here to give themselves any sort of hope of chasing down this target.
They need multiple big overs, and when I mean big overs, not really like 13 runs, more like 20 runs, and they'll need a couple overs like those. Deron Davis will continue. Liverpool have scored again. Mohamed Salah, what a game we have over there. It's 3-2. 3-2 the score in the 33rd minute. Deron Davis comes back, 2 overs for 10. Starts with a wide, outside off. Ricky leaving it alone, sensing that it was going to be an extra ball. Stallions, I'm sure, will take the extra ball. 100 comes up, and this one is lofted. Don't even move. Dominic Ricky, 6 runs. They'll need plenty more of those. 79 required, 29 balls left. Dominic Ricky up to 56, 106 for 4.
Beautiful shot, using his feet, not quite getting to the pitch of the ball, but going through, pushing through with the hands, and it came right out of the middle of the blade, down over long off for another maximum.
And just to run through, a couple of half centuries have already been scored in the minor league, and those have been scored out of the Atlanta Parmveers, who posted 236 for 5 off 20 overs. And
My goodness, what a total.
we got half centuries. In fact, the highest total so far, Darpan Kumar Patel with 69 from 25 balls. Stephen Taylor got a half century. Garth Garvey as well got a half century in that match. And so Parmveer posted
Wow.
3.
Short delivery, it was a flat one, but it's 6. Yesit Pereira, short delivery, pull it away. 14 of the over so far, 2 deliveries left. And this is the kind of over that Stallions are going to need to get for the rest of this innings if they want to get out of this as winners. All the rest of the overs are going to have to go like this, 14 plus and over.
So
Yeah,
balls.
that's the challenge, Matt, as they need to sustain this level of hitting for another 4.1 overs.
Yeah, this has been a very good over here for the Stallions, but point being made, they'll need to do a lot more than that.
So Jacobs to finish out his spell here. Oh, big shot down the ground. He splits the field as straight as he can get. Using his feet again was Ricky. 4 runs.
Yeah, lovely shot from Dominic Ricky. He's been classy today. Scored a 50. He's joined a very little elite group for the time being all across the country, Jamie, is to have slammed a 50 here, but the problem is they're running out of balls, and so 24 balls remaining pretty much, but we'll have to wait and see how things work out here. 117 on the board.
Another big shot. Has he found the gap? Yes, he has. It clears the ropes at long off. And that means that Dominic Ricky now goes to the highest score so far in minor league cricket. 73.
He's played extremely well. And forgetting what is to happen here, 62 leader from 22. You've got to give Dominic Ricky a lot of credit here for leading the charge for the New Jersey Stallions.
Cut away. Fielder looks like he's dead. Looks like Gervain. Couple added to the score. 60 off 21 is, if he is going down, Dominic Ricky He's going to go down with a fight. Still not impossible, but still improbable for the Stallions.
Yeah, they require over 17 and over. Also, can Dominic Ricky get 100 here? You never know. He's up to 76. With 20 balls remaining, it's going to be tough, but still, you never know what can happen. Damian Jacobs probably would have gone for his most expensive over so far. He's 13 so far.
So another wicket for Jacobs, his fourth, and bit of a soft dismissal really in the end. A short ball, just a half-hearted attempt to hit it over the offside field. Perhaps looking to get Riki back on strike. Fortunately, Pereira gets the outside edge and a simple catch in the end. So Raymond Ramrutten will be the new batsman. In fact, yes, it is Ramrutten. So despite 2 good overs in terms of the scoring rate for the Stallions, the rate required continues to go up. It's up over 18 and a half now, and it's only getting tougher for the for the New Jersey Stallions. So Ramrutten, in conjunction with Riki, he's really going to have to put the foot down from ball 1 here. Last ball of Jacob's spell coming up. So a single to finish out Jacob's spell. Very good spell of bowling. He's run through the Stallions' order. 4 wickets for 25 of his 4, and even what was a relatively big over of his last didn't really diminish his figures that much. So a superb effort from Jacobs.
That indeed, Jamie, he really came to the party, and we saw him put down a catch early off Dominic Ricky. Aside from that blemish, he has really been stellar with the ball, and truly has represented himself and his captain well as they look to defend 184 posted on the board. So Daron Davis comes back into the attack, and he starts with a dot outside the off stump. Now the Titans looking to press home their advantage and close things out here. Only 2 overs will remain after this one. Brilliantly taken. Brilliant catch, diving away as Avin Gangadin showing off his public school athletic league skills. The John Adams man comes to the party. No, brilliant catch taken.
Well, the ball's been following him in the last 5 or 6 overs. He's put down 1 catch earlier, which his skipper wasn't happy about, but he's made up for it there with a good diving effort. And Ramrutten, in an attempt to force the rate, has perished early. And that brings Gavin Brown to the middle to join Dominic Riki, who they really need to try and get on strike. He's the man in form. He really needs to face as many of the 16 balls remaining as possible. Currently stranded at the non-striker's end.
So Gavin Brown comes to the middle. A game in which Empire State Titans in certainly full control. It's going to be tough for them to lose from here, Jamie. The fact is, when they posted 184, you thought already you don't lose too many T20 matches. There's 184 on the board, and their bowling has been quite stellar. They've used the slower stuff all day, except for Zishan. The ball in the air, mid-off is interested. In fact, it goes over his head. And that goes away for a maximum 133 on the board. So Gavin Brown gets off the mark with a maximum. And they get another single out to long on. So 51 needed in a couple of overs. The ball flies to cover, fielder comes in, Carmichael takes a well-judged catch, and finally Dominic Ricky goes for a well-played 76. It's 134 for 7.
And with the fall of Dominic Ricky, you'd have to think that any glimmering hope of the New Jersey Stallions pulling off an unlikely victory has also expired. But you never know, cricket's a funny game. We have seen teams win from these sort of positions in the past, but it's certainly going to take something special from the remaining batsmen, or perhaps something absolutely atrocious from the Titans bowling. But as you say, Len, a well compiled 76 by Dominic Ricky. Certainly confirming that he is one of the bright young stars of US cricket. As Rushiaman grabs the helmet and makes his way up to the middle to join Gavin Brown. So the new batsman was on strike as the batters crossed while the catch was being taken. And he gets a single straight away. Does Rushiaman. Gavin Brown back on strike, and finally we see a seam bowler again. Zishan Ahmed bowled 2 overs at the top, and then it's been all spin since then. So he's come back perhaps to complete his spell at the death. And a miss hit here, and he's going to be lucky as it falls into the vacant space behind the bowler, and they scamper back for 2. Driving down the grounds. Just a single this time, as the run rate required continues to blossom, shall we say. It's up over 31 now required.
So Empire State Titans still have another engagement, in fact a couple of engagements between today and tomorrow. They will host the New England Eagles at 2 o'clock, and tomorrow they travel up to Evansburg, and then they'll be host to the DC Hawks. So busy weekend for the Empire State Titans, and they'll be quite happy, Jamie, that in not too long from now they could have a W in their columns, and that W means win, as New Jersey Stallions are 46 runs away from 7 balls remaining.
So even though they've got this game well in hand, they continue to fight hard to the Empire State Titans. As the penultimate over comes to a conclusion, 6 deliveries remaining, 45 runs to win.
Yes, Jamie, and just to look back, they batted well, the Empire State Titans, to get up to 184, led by Gajanan Singh, their captain. And we also saw good support from Omar Farouk, who got 34, Javed Thomas, who made 30, Carmichael got 23, Wasim Shazad, he was quite robust towards the end, he got 27. And I tell you, from what we've seen today, you're not going to lose a lot of T20 matches with 180 plus on the board, or you shouldn't, as Carmichael comes in for the final 6 with the news. New Jersey Stallions could be the casualty here, as Empire State Titans have done exceedingly well, and they could be on their way with a win here as they take on the New England Eagles in their afternoon schedule.
So Carmichael deciding to revert to seam up. We've seen him do this in the past as well. Depending on the conditions and the match situation, he'll decide whether he bowls left arm orthodox or seam up.
Jalad Dua, the keeper, has really stood back. So the field changes over for the left-hander Amin. He's on 2. Carmichael. Oh, he's picked up his first wicket. So the stumps goes flying here. Amin goes for 2. And the good work continues here by the bowlers of the Empire State Titans. 8 down, it's 141.
And almost immediately justifies his decision to change his bowling style as he takes a wicket. And I just want to go back to the first innings, Len, which was a relatively topsy-turvy innings. We saw the first 10 overs, the Empire State Titans really dominate, particularly with that partnership of Umar Farouk and Gajanan Singh. And then through the bowling of Ram Rattan in particular, the New Jersey side really came back into it. But I think the value of that innings of Wasim Shazad coming in right towards the end and belting 4 sixes, I think it was, off an innings that was only, 7 balls long? 8 balls. 27 off 8 balls. That took the total from what looked like being 155, 160 up to 180 plus, and we know, as you've said, it's not too often a score of 180 plus batting first is a losing score. So cannot emphasise enough how important that innings was to the Empire State Titans.
So Citasia faced the ball. We got 3 balls remaining. Still 44 to get. This is a good player, Citasia. And a man who has dominated his age level over time. Quality player. Might have been surprised he's batting at this juncture of the innings so late, but that's how it goes sometimes. 43 to win from 2 balls. And Gavin Brown on 11. It's 142 on the board.
Swing and a miss. And there's just 1 delivery remaining in the match. Vincent Carmichael, he's had a pretty good all-round game as well. There's another dot ball to finish, which brings the match to an end, and congratulations to the Empire State Titans. Come out victorious by 42 runs, scoring 184, and there turn it back and then restricting the New Jersey Stallions to 142 for 8. And for a summary of the game, firstly we will have a look at the first innings. .184 the Empire State Titans scored, been inserted by the New Jersey Stallions after they won the toss. Umar Farouk made 34, Trevin Griffith, who was the first to fall, made 10. Skipper Gajanan Singh, a well played 44. Javian Thomas 30. Vincent Carmichael was left not out on 23, and Wasim Shazad run out off the last ball of the innings for 27 off 8. And the bowling figures, Gavin Brown 1 for 36 from his 4, Umar Ali none for 43, Rishi Amin none for 39 from 3, Raj Babsa just the 1 over, an expensive one at that, went for 17. Arain Williams, very good spell, 2 for 26, and Raymond Ranratton, another good spell, 1 for 21. So 184, 185 is the target for New Jersey Stallions. They never really threatened that target. There was some good batting, particularly from Dominic Ricci at the top with 76, but he didn't get a lot of support throughout the innings. Savan Patel, his opening partner, made 10. Arain Williams 7, Raj Babsa 1. Akeem Dodson looked good for his 24. Yasif Pereira came and went without troubling the scorers. Raymond Ranratton made 1. Rishi Amin was the final batsman dismissed for 2. And Gavin Brown was left not out on 11, and Saitija Mukamala not out on 1. So 142 for 8 was the final score. So they lost by 42 runs in the end, and just the bowling figures of the Empire State Titans. Zishan Ahmed bowled tidily, very tidily, as his 3 overs only went for 17. Vincent Carmichael with 3 overs of left arm orthodox spin, and that final over of left arm seam up over the wicket, he got 1 for 30 off his 4. Jerome Davis 2 for 31 from his 4. Damien Jacobs, the star of the show with the ball really for the Empire State Titans, taking a wicket in each of his 4 overs. He finished with 4 for 25. Gajanan Singh, the skipper, did a very tidy job taking a wicket with his very first ball. He ended with 1 for 18 from 3. And Trevin Griffith, the other bowler, none for 19 from 2 with his off spin. So a pretty clinical victory in the end for the Empire State Titans. They will take a break now, a lunch break, and then we'll return in an hour or so with the second match of the day, where the Empire State Titans will be taking on the New England side. But in the meantime, we will leave you from Idlewild Park with the news that the Empire State Titans have secured victory over the New Jersey Stallions by 42 runs.
Are your wife got there?
No, I come with a Uber. The car could drive for some or so.
Where the vehicle is?
Huh? Are you leaving? Yeah. Huh?
Where the vehicle?
Up at home. I could drive. I drive you from the sea. Let's relax for now. I want to drive.
No, why you said something on the money?
Yeah, that's it. Same thing you see. Nothing.
Christopher, how can I go about editing? I have certain stuff to edit. Could I do that? Could I do that? Could I do that through the app? Or you'll do the editing? Okay, so I could send you the scorecard and you could okay, I'll send you a link from another scorecard.